Church-run credit unions keep the faith despite challenges. We get people that will make videos about subject matter that they know very little about, and yet purpose themselves as an expert on the subject. There are so many so-called experts, but all they have is alternative facts about the black church. The black church is still providing for the community even without the help of so many so-called community folks without a clue. The latest subject has been the church and credit unions. So with this video, we'll explore the existence of credit unions and black churches in the USA. There are many challenges for these black churches because many of us bank with your major institutions because they have arrived. But the question is, where have they arrived to? Like churches, credit unions need members who will look at the issues black churches that are still keeping their credit unions open are facing for one across the country. According to the National Credit Union Administration, there are 133 active credit unions with a faith-based charter in the United States and 276 inactive ones. When Milwaukee's Greater Galilee Missionary Baptist Church started a credit union in 1965, its predominantly African-American members were often denied loans, lines of credit, and other basic financial services from banks. More than 50 years later, in what is still one of the most racially segregated cities in the country, not much has changed, said Gloria Neff, a credit union board member and small business owner. Greater Galilee's members, many of whom are elderly, still struggle to secure loans, even if they have the means to repay them. We're still having the same challenges, she said. We're still having the same problems. That reality drives board members, all volunteers, to keep the credit union going and to expand the financial services it offers. Church members need what the credit union offers, Neff said. Although they pay their bills and they have the finances to pay, they still need to come to an establishment like this to get loans, she said. Greater Galilee Credit Union is part of a shrinking group of faith-based credit unions nationwide. They are a distinct dimension of the credit union industry, offering a consumer-focused alternative to payday lenders and personal larger banks, along with shared religious beliefs. As church attendance has fallen nationwide, some small, local church-based credit unions have shuttered. According to the National Credit Union Administration, there are 133 active credit unions with a faith-based charter in the United States and 276 inactive ones. Ones that remain open, like Greater Galilee, face obstacles in a rapidly changing consumer bank industry with more costly government regulations. But Greater Galilee and other faith-based credit unions are finding ways to continue to adapt. At the end of the day, that is the objective, to make sure the credit union is going at full force, said Ella Dunbar, who also sits on the board. Greater Galilee Credit Union has about 200 members, all of whom must be members of the church or related to a member. The credit union is run separately from the church, though it is housed in 2 rooms in the basement of the congregation's home on the north side of Milwaukee. It offers passbook savings accounts and personal and auto loans, along with funeral estate planning. The credit union also hopes to offer services for preparing wills and power of attorney documents for members, said A. Murphy, board president. Without its services, many credit union members would likely go to payday lenders and other high-interest rate institutions, said Murphy, especially in a state that relaxed restrictions on the payday lending industry over the last decade. There is a lot of predatory lending that takes place in our community, Murphy said. Greater Galilee's board rates are modest compared to those of a payday lender, Murphy said. And the credit union tries to educate borrowers on the pitfalls of those institutions, he said. It is also planning to offer workshops on sound money management and financial literacy. To increase business, the credit union board is considering opening up membership to people outside the church and is working on offering debit cards and checking accounts. We are moving in that direction. We're just not there yet, Murphy said. It's costly, and you have to have a certain level of activity for it to be profitable for you. For us, being a closed shop for just a church and the church members, that's not a large enough audience. Credit unions can be chartered at the state or federal level and are insured by the National Credit Union Administration and regulated by states. Credit union officials in Wisconsin say faith-based credit unions have decreased statewide. It's definitely been on the decline. A lot of them have merged out of existence in Wisconsin, said Mary Bliss, Chief Operating Officer of the Wisconsin League of Credit Unions based in Madison. In general, they've had challenges in trying to grow. Keeping up with increasing government regulations is also costly. Leaders of the Greater Galilee Credit Union say it's hard to keep up. We're charged with carrying out the same kind of built-in controls, the internal controls that the larger institutions have to abide by despite the fact that we are considerably smaller, said Murphy. We don't have the resources, and we're all volunteer. Frederick Douglass Haynes II, who pastors the 12,000-member Friendship West Baptist Church in Dallas, saw a local plant nursery and a nearby restaurant replaced by money stores offering payday loans. A bank branch turned into a car title loan store. In our community alone, a 5-mile radius, you had 20 to 25 payday loan and slash or car title loan stores, Haynes said. Then he saw the interest rates the lenders charge. The highest I've seen is 900%. Lowest is 300% per year. State usury laws generally limit the amount of interest that can be charged, but loopholes and fees push the effective interest rate much higher. Haynes and Stewart saw a need for local officials to place limits on the lenders. In Garland, Stewart and 50 members of his congregation testified at a city council hearing. Garland officials restricted what lenders could charge and how they could renew loans. The payday lenders quickly left for other communities, Stewart said, but he and others succeeded in having those communities regulate the lenders as well. In Dallas, those caught by payday loans asked, "What alternatives do we have?" Haynes recalled, "I was doing a great job of cursing the darkness, but there were no candles to light." He learned of the Nobel Prize-winning work of Muhammad Yunus, whose microloan concept helped millions in Bangladesh. Haynes became convinced the church needed a microloan fund to help those in need. The church now operates Faith Cooperative Federal Credit Union, which offers checking and savings accounts as well as auto, mortgage, and personal loans. Among the loans are ones designed to replace those offered by payday lenders, with interest rates ranging from 15% to 19%, depending on a borrower's credit standing. We've given out over $50,000 in small dollar loans, and the rate of customers who paid back their loans in full is 95%, Haynes said. We're demonstrating that people just need a chance without being exploited. Haynes said the credit union has helped members of his church beyond those needing a short-term loan. We've had persons caught in the debt trap set free because they have access to this alternative, he said. Then they open up accounts and get on the path toward not only financial freedom, but also financial empowerment. The energy our church has invested in the credit union has been a blessing, and the credit union has been a blessing because so many people have benefited.